Welcome back to the Eric Krown crypto channel, where I'm having a massively difficult face day over here as I am surviving the third day post-operation of my hair transplant. And apparently what I got was a bowling ball of a face. I look like that character from the third Lord of the Rings, the orc that's managing the massive army as they approach Minas Tirith. Really good for my self-esteem over here. Anyways, let's just jump into it right now as I want to waste no more time. Should probably let you know about Instagram, but I think I've been showing that enough as of recently. I've just been doing some short-term updates there alongside other stuff as well. It's in the link in the description below if you happen to care. Anyways, started off right on over here with the 4-hour for Bitcoin. We do see hidden bearish divergence forming. Obviously, this is also consistent amongst all other timeframes below a 4-hour. In fact, already confirmed on the 3-hour. By hourly has multiple drives, and hourly has like 4 drives right there. So very likely to move perhaps somewhere down around our current lows. Also, this could be interpreted as a rejection on the bounce attempt to the 382, which is where you do kind of expect your corrections in line with the current trend on, strong trending moves. So with that in mind, I want to put things into context right here, as it is still a game of range resolution. So, as long as Bitcoin is below that 382, obviously not looking for any sort of nice leg to the upside. But if it does start to close even, by hourlies above about 250 or so, it's the same levels as yesterday, basically, then I would be looking for an assault at least around the 0.5, perhaps even as high as the 618. But again, I want to reiterate my stance that as long as Bitcoin's below the 618 right here, which is about 25,500 on any sort of even a medium time frame closure, let alone a higher term time frame closing basis, pressure remains to the downside. And, I think that's a bit of a sombering detail. Anyways, as we go check out stochastic momentum, I believe we also do see some pivots at about 20,600 on the 4-hour. 3-hour is going to be showing what? Is going to be showing 21 to 130, and hourly is going to be showing actually downside below 22,500. So when I see something like this bifurcation between all of the lower term timeframes, as you can see between the 4, 3, and 1, it's kind of like pedaling on a bike, but you're not really getting anywhere. So in this case, I am looking at this as a corrective signal and very likely to retest perhaps somewhere down around our current lows. The question is, though, does Bitcoin have enough momentum to actually break our current lows? And if it does, how deep would we kind of expect it to reasonably go? Well, to put that into context, 4-hour BBWP, is coming off at extremes right here. And this is, a corrective signal as of right now. So while I do think that Bitcoin, could very easily retest somewhere around our current lows, I wouldn't be looking for like a major, massive continuation move unless we quite literally come back down below this spike here. Whoops, let me just, it's like actually kind of difficult to see. But if we do come back down that spike, which I believe was right around the FOMC meeting right here, anywhere below there, 20,190 on the exchange that I'm looking at, which is Bybit. Then yes, I would be looking for the next leg down, very likely somewhere around about 19,000 to 18,500 bucks. And then we'd want to come back to it after that. In fact, that would be a good time for me to do a bit of an Instagram update because it'll just be nice and easy to do right there. But here's the thing. I want to jump back onto this chart over here because this one has just been so damn consistent and so damn important. And as we follow up on it, I think it really helps put the full picture into consideration. So this is the daily BBWP versus stochastic momentum chart. Obviously, BBWP is a volatility indicator measuring the dispersion of returns. And anytime that we have seen it get below 10 percentile, the expansion phase from there has led to an average move of about 23.63%, done over the course of just over 13 days. And the stochastic momentum oscillator has gone in the correct direction. Well, now better than 75% of the time, because obviously this last one worked as well. Anyways, in this case, a few things of interest right here. One, the average move. We've obviously played out on the higher end of that because the 23.63% move would have brought Bitcoin down to about 23,000 bucks. Obviously, we're getting closer to I think like a 35 or 40% move, of which, we do see a lot of variance in these past iterations from this signal. So if we are going to put that into context and say if we're going to look at that as one of the higher ends of those signals, let's say about 40%, where would that put Bitcoin, as like a general guide as to, perhaps how far we might see on this current move. And yeah, that put Bitcoin at about 19,000 bucks. So $18,500 to $19,000 is kind of where I would be looking for, but only on a move lower basically than yesterday's low. I know that's not too helpful in this case, but we are at extremes here, so it's kind of difficult to call like major continuation. But a few things to be interested in are next the daily BBWP itself, because we are quite literally at 100 percentile right now. It literally cannot go higher, but it can stay like this for a little bit of time, similar to how we have seen in the past, I believe. Yeah, over here, actually, a couple times over here. And because we did base out in that very extreme lows for such a long time, comparable only in recent memory to like, yeah, July over here, which was like the last major massive breakout in that case to the upside, we do kind of expect it to base at the top, for a little bit longer. And I wouldn't really call the next corrective move, at least a consolidation, bounce implied, maybe reversal, but at least consolidation until we do see the BBWP itself get below the moving average, which as you can see is, quite far away from it right now. So very likely, at least until end of this week, maybe even opening up until next week, we'll still be seeing something like that. And to put it one step further, as long as the daily stochastic momentum oscillator is angled to the downside, pressure does remain to the downside. So that pivot has now moved down to 25,740. That is basically around the 618 retracement that we looked at earlier. For the shorter term time frame. So that is to say, as long as Bitcoin's below there, basically barring any sort of heroic bounce by end of day, pressure does remain lower. And as long as this condition is met, I suppose that, yeah, we could see that next leg down in the short term between now and preps Friday there. Anyways, what I also wanted to mention is the average days. So this move technically started, let's say, yeah, about the 6th of June, 6th, 7th of June. So if we're looking at the average days as a governor as to kind of when to expect the move to come to a bit of an end, not necessarily to say that it's never going to go lower ever again, just a nice consolidation before likely the next leg, if anything, well, that would put us at pretty much very close to right now, right? So 13 days plus 6 is going to be 19, right? So we're on the 16th. I literally can't even see the calendar. Is it 16? I think we're on the 16th day of this month. Whatever it is, it's close. It's really, really close. So what I'm trying to say is that if we're using this as a governor, it's reasonable to say that, timing-wise, we're getting there. So that obviously wouldn't be tomorrow if it is the 16th. That would be maybe more around Monday, perhaps. So that's also a consideration I'd be having right here. And on top of that, there was maybe one other thing that I wanted to say. No, actually, I think I said it, in fact, right there. So yeah, it's kind of wrapping it up, on the short-term timeframes, hidden bearish divergence, momentum oscillator is, seemingly starting to turn down yet again. I would still be looking at this as a range resolution. So if you do get something resembling a bit of a short-term trap where, Bitcoin pops down here, but doesn't take out yesterday's low, meaning trade below it, and then pops back above basically this morning's highs and even closes, maybe even an hourly, I'd feel a lot more comfortable with a full hour. Then I would be looking for Bitcoin to mount an assault at least into the mid 24s, maybe even $25,000. But really nothing on the higher term timeframes changes until Bitcoin's back above here. And even then, there's a lot more things kind of fraught with peril, but hey, if you do see something like this, that would be a good short-term reversal, and we'd probably be in for a bit of sideways, and you could say that the move on the higher term time is probably done for now before another consolidation. Anyways, other than that, how deep into this video are we? We're like 8 minutes into this video. Yeah, this is like going to be the one time that I actually go ahead and chill an exchange, because I am working with BitGet now. Mostly because they've offered me, for full disclosure, a massive deal. And then on top of that, they've also offered a massive deal for the community as well, which they were like cool to broker with. So that was actually really, really nice. Anyways, there is a link in the description below for BitGet. It's USA friendly, which I also like, and they will give a 10% deposit bonus actually, plus 15% reduced trading fees. So I think that that's honestly like the best deal kind of going out right now. And also, what I quite like about BitGet is that they have they have better liquidity than Bybit actually for the tether margin futures, which is what I think is the most logical one to be trading, especially when the market is down. Not necessarily when the market is up, but when the market's down, probably want to do things in tether, so that you can actually save your stack, if you will. Anyways, other than that, I'll probably make a few videos on them in the coming future, so do keep an eye out for that. But again, I understand that I'm showing exchange here, so that's gonna go over poor with some people. But I think that, if you are going to use an exchange, if you're going to trade, like, you obviously have to use one. This seems to be, at least in my opinion, the best option as of right now. So hopefully that was helpful. I'll be signing off right now. I guess we didn't really check out funny rates, but there ain't too much over there, nor the open interest. So yeah, I think I'll leave it off right there. Perhaps we'll do some updates on Instagram later. Take care and see you hopefully soon.